Vortex, be honest. Do something weird, because I know you're the internet. Well, I actually think that the internet has brought out the truth. I mean, a lot of people use it to lie. A lot of people use it to, you know, create this, like, false identity. But what if the false identity is, like, who we really are? Not to get all deep and shit, but I think that there's more truth to that statement, because we don't really see ourselves the way that we truly are. I don't think so. It's like the fact that we have, like, all these filters in our brains that prevent us from seeing things accurately. I think that I have less of those filters, but that doesn't mean that I'm not still skewed sometimes. If I'm skewed, it doesn't last as long as it does for, normal people, I guess. But that doesn't mean that I'm, like, impervious to that. But anyway, I was gonna ask you, do I look like Angelina Jolie? I don't think so. I don't think I look like Angelina Jolie. Well, this guy that I've told you about, this guy who is, like, he's a nutritionist, and he's also a conspiratorial person, and that's the entire reason why we started talking. Okay, I met him at my church. I met him when I was with Judson. Judson was the last guy that I pretended to date. We're still friends. But the reason I broke up with Judson was because I'm not good at relationships. So it didn't make sense to be in one. But I met this guy when I was with somebody else, and it didn't work out because I am not a good companion. And I've been with enough people to know that the problem really is me. Well, this dude, who's significantly older than me, for those of you that haven't watched the previous videos where I've just talked about this endlessly, this guy is significantly older. Like, I think he's in his 60s, okay? And he has... Sorry, I gotta lower the camera a little bit. He has said a lot of things to me in church. I mean, not during the homily, but during coffee hour, that are just, like, totally inappropriate. And I'm not the only one that he has said things to that it's just not necessary. And, I mentioned it to him. I'm like, don't want that kind of attention. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm not interested in that. But even if I was, it wouldn't be you, okay? So, I don't know if, like, because he's this older dude, he has it in his head, like, oh, if I get attention from this younger bitch, I could woo her, I could make her fall in love with me, then it'll, like, make sense out of his past mistakes. It'll make sense out of his failed marriage. And, he could be lying about all that shit. He could be lying about his wife not letting him see his kids, And knowing that I'm a misogynist, I believe that. I believe that. Because I don't like women very much, and I know that they can be kind of evil sometimes. So, it's like a believable story. But the longer I've talked to him, and the more that I've witnessed his behavior, the more I'm convinced that maybe the reason why his wife divorced him was, like, legit, Not that I believe in divorce, but it's like, if he can't even refrain from telling a younger gal at church that God is working in her life because even her boobs got bigger, alright? If he can't stop himself from saying shit like that, there's no telling, like, how horrible of a husband he was. So he obviously doesn't have boundaries. And I have, stressed that I'm a boundary Nazi. And so, if he says stuff that's inappropriate, I've tried to just write it off, laugh it off. I've yelled at him over shit that he's done that's been fucked up. Like him just randomly showing up to my house with a bookcase, or like one time I'd opened my garage door because I was fixing to leave, and I was on my computer, and he just randomly showed up and like knocked on the garage door, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, who does that? And I was like, you can't just do that, dude. You can't just show up at somebody's house and expect things from them. Like, that's so messed up. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. Do not get on my bad side or I will knock you to no end. Ugh. But yeah, man. I've just been around him enough, like, that I know it's not just me, because I always think it's just me. It's got to be me. I'm always the problem, no matter what. But I've been stupid before. I've let people I've let people do things for me that I probably shouldn't have let them do, because they get some kind of impression from that. And thank you for the turn signal. We appreciate it. But yeah, it's like, he's like a nice guy narcissist, like, I'm gonna do all these things for you that you didn't ask for, that you don't even want. And sadly, I know a lot of guys like this. They think that if they do stuff for somebody, if they just give them money, or they make stuff for them, or they fix random things in their house, they think, oh, maybe she'll sleep with me. Maybe she'll suck my dick. No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I can't provide these services that you desperately need. But, I do feel sorry for him. Just like I feel sorry for all narcissists. Because they're codependent and annoying, and they constantly need to be validated. And I really think, in a lot of ways, like, that's why he's a nutritionist, so he can, like, try to intervene in people's lives and, like, tell them what to do. And, it's like they do something nice, but it's actually for the sole purpose of them patting themselves on the back for doing that nice thing, you know? It's not because, like, they actually want to help you. It's more about helping themselves feel better about their shitty-ass existence, you know? But I can't help it. I always feel sorry for people. A lot of people mock me for this, or they just don't understand. They're like, why would you pity these people, you know? And I know that, like, the more I pity them, the more likely they are to take advantage of me. Because they see that I have that capacity to care for them. So they want to stretch that capacity as much as they can. But I should have never smoked pot with him. That was most definitely a mistake. You know, I love pot, but, you know, there's certain people you shouldn't smoke pot with, because then they'll get ideas of you. You know? But yeah, man. Like, I guess, like, from my understanding, like, other people at church have had a significant problem with him too. Like, he's crossed a lot of lines, and not just, like, you know, making inappropriate comments to younger women, but just doing shit that's, like, really fucked up. Apparently he broke into somebody's house because he was working on their house, and he didn't have a key to their house, so he just broke into their house. Yeah, that's kind of a clear indicator that that person does not have boundaries. You're right? Literally. But I don't think he's malicious, though. That's the thing. I don't think that he's a bad person. I think that he just doesn't have self-awareness. And I don't know, man. It's hard with narcissists, because it's like I know that he told me about his childhood, how his father is kind of abusive, and I think a lot of people internalize that, and you can definitely tell, like, when somebody didn't have that great of a childhood based off of the way they behave now. And so, yeah, I have a lot of empathy for that. But yeah, people will totally take advantage of you. If they know that you're an empath, they will take advantage of you. But let me tell you, an empath is the last person that you want to piss off, because they pay attention to a lot of stuff that you obviously don't. So they could destroy you. And I know that I could destroy him if I really wanted to. I don't want to. But yeah, he came up to me, right? He came up to me, like, we were just talking in coffee hour. We were just talking, me and these other women. Like I told you, I force myself to talk to women. I don't hate women, by the way. I just find them annoying. But at least they don't want to fuck you. At least there's no pressure there. That's nice. That's a nice little relief. Well, like, he just stood there and stared at me. And he's one of those people, like, he just, like, interjects himself into a conversation. Now, I do that too sometimes, but I don't do it because I want attention. I'm not doing that because, like, I want to be part of something, man. That's not it. It's just whatever somebody's talking about, like, I can relate to it. If I have something to contribute, I'll contribute. So I'll say what I need to say and then be on my way, you know? It's not about me, like, trying to be part of the group or anything like that. But, yeah, so he was just standing there, like, we were all sitting at a table, and he was just standing there staring at me. And he's like, I just wanted to say, you look like an Angelina Jolie with glasses. It's like, if you're gonna give me a compliment, at least give me a compliment that makes fucking sense. You know? I do not look anything like that bitch. But even if I did, it's like, why would I want to hear that from some old ass fogey that I go to church with? You know? Just standing there and staring at me until I look at you and pay attention. It's just pathetic. It really is. But that's the thing. The part of me that recognizes how pathetic that is the same part of me that feels sorry for him. Because he has no awareness of how creepy he is. He has no control over how creepy he allows himself to get. But I think that other, like, men need to have this conversation with him. You know? Because, you know, I'm just a little woman, you know? I'm just a wee little girl. It's like, he ain't gonna listen to a woman. Nor should he. You know, men are over women for a reason. But the thing is, though, like, not all feminist talking points are wrong. Like, men should have a code of conduct in regards to how they approach women. It's not hard, dude. It's not hard. Just don't be fucking creepy. That's it. Just don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. Don't beat us up and don't rape us. That's it. That's it. Why is this so hard? Feminism wouldn't exist if men could just figure out how to not be fucking creepy. And it's one thing to be territorial over your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. Just a little bit. If you're jealous, that kind of proves that you're a weakling. That proves that, like, you're letting your emotions get the best of you, which makes you feminine. I mean, I can understand, like, someone being territorial, like, for the right reason. But it's people that don't have any boundaries, like, they got to go, right? They got to go. But you really can't, like, make somebody understand that, you know? Like, you can't raise the consciousness of somebody that, like, doesn't want that consciousness to be raised. Because, like, I have already said this over and over and over again, and that's why I blame myself, because I'm like, well, maybe I was wrong to do drugs with him. Maybe I was wrong to go on walks with him and talk to him, you know? Because, like, I look at men like they're my brothers. Older, younger, similar age. But they ain't looking at me like that. And the older that you get, the more of a problem this is. But I don't want to be a cunt, though, you know? But he's forced me to be a cunt. Because he can't take no for an answer. Just let you know I'm not lying. This is the last text that he sent to me, okay? Well, actually, like, maybe the second or third to last text that he sent me. Okay. See that? It says, I want to rub some oil on your back and take you out for dinner.
It's just laughable at this point. I want to rub some oil on your back and take you out for dinner. It would be nice to make your blood boil with excitement and feeling. Who says shit like this? Who sends that in a text message? I mean, you are making my blood boil with excitement and feeling, but it's not good excitement, and it's definitely not good feeling. It's just disgust. It's a feeling of disgust. But it's like the fact that he had no control over himself. Like, he had to send me a text like that. If he's sending me something like that, something that's so explicit, I don't even want to think about all the stuff that he's not telling me. You know? It's just messed up. I show that to some of my coworkers, like, one of my black coworkers was like, I'd be calling the cops, Amy. She's like, I really don't want to have to kill him. See, it's good to have black up. I'm not joking about that. If I sound racist or like, you know, in any kind of way, like, leaning that direction, like, I don't mean to. I'm sorry. But, I genuinely appreciate people. But I talk about, you know, prejudice. I talk about, you know, differences between race, differences in culture. You know, it's not really, like, directed at anything. Like, I'm not trying to change anything. I'm not trying to make some sort of political statement about an entire group of people. I just talk, you know? It's just the way I am. People can choose to interpret it a certain way, but I'm telling you, it's not that way that you're making it out to be. Because I have nothing but love and appreciation for the people in my life. Just because I make, you know, funny statements about race or what have you, different aspects of identity. A part of me is just making fun of the fact that it's even a thing at all. But, that being said, it's good to have, you know, black people that fit that stereotype when you need them to fit that stereotype. You know, because she's like 23, and I know that she would kick his ass if she had to. As old as he is. Because I've seen her fight. I've seen her, like, get really mad. And so, she cares about me quite a bit. She doesn't want to see anything bad happen to me. I mean, I don't think anything is going to happen. Like I said, I don't think this guy is malicious. But I think that he's really messed up. And he's obviously very sexually frustrated. Otherwise, he wouldn't be, you know, throwing himself at younger women that don't want shit to do with him. You know, I made the mistake of just trying to be friends with him, but you can't be friends with people who want to fuck you.